Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, a star channeler, transformational mentor, and sacred guide. Happy Sagittarius full moon. It's happening on May 23rd at 9:53 a.m. Eastern time, and it's happening at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, on a full moon, that's always when the sun and moon are opposing each other. So we've got a nice balance between the fun, the inspiration, and the excitement and the electric energy of Gemini with the expansion, the fire, the passion, the belief of Sagittarius. And they're coming together to meet in the middle. So this full moon, you know what I'm about to say. I know you know what I'm about to say, is the Ascension Accelerator. We just went through such a wild weekend, right? This has been building since the Aries total solar eclipse on April 8th. And we had one of the biggest geomagnetic storms in history. It went to a category G5. It lasted for like 4 days. And the peak was May 10th to May 12th, 2024. You will absolutely remember it. The Northern Lights lit up in the world for so many people. And for those that didn't actually physically see them, they felt them inside. This was such a revealing of light as the magnetic shield shifted and went down. We have an opening to really integrate what wants to come through. So I want to take you back to that total solar eclipse in Aries. And I want you to again grab your astrology chart, look at the house that was activated in that, because that's the area that's going to be feeling super hella uncomfortable for you right now. I know because mine was in my first house of identity, and I'm going through a huge identity crisis, even in my business, in what I really want to do. What is my innate medicine? Is it changing? Is it staying? Is it coming? Is it going? Like, So you want to see what environment is being activated in your life. I will again include the houses. It's just going to be a quick recap of the energy of those houses. It's nothing in depth. I just want you to really start bringing to your awareness where some triggers and resistance and struggles may be coming in and how they're actually there to propel you into doing it a new way. That is what the Sagittarius full moon is bringing. The ability to expand. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. We are just moving out of a big Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. So we're still continuing these themes of Taurus. I'm recording this on the 16th. Tomorrow, May 17th, we have a square between Mercury in Taurus and Pluto in Aquarius. So you could be having a lot of doom thoughts and feelings moving through, and you can feel some difficulty in your communication, in the way that you're sharing yourself in your circles and in your world. And that's because this conjunction wants you to do it different. Aquarius wants freedom from the way you've been doing it or holding yourself back from a perceived sense of safety. Taurus with Mercury wants you to start communicating from the space of deep stillness, of presence, of pleasure, of sensuality, of vulnerability, of love in your heart and through your relationships. Like really getting down to the like brass tacks of humanity, which is love. And wow, we're having to wade through so much just pain and suffering. And as a result, anger and hatred and division in this world, just to get back to the ease that we actually have in being a being of love. So we have a lot to get into today. But first of all, like I said, I'm Lori Rising of therawandwildhearts.com. I'm so excited that you landed here and you found us. Please hit that subscribe button and also that little bell, the notification, so you can be alerted every time I drop a video. And if you're loving this video, give us a like, share it with a friend, comment on the video. Let me know what really resonated with you and what really got your fire stoked in this beautiful Sagittarius energy. So what I do in these videos is I chat a little bit about what's going down around the new and full moons in this big space and the energies that I'm tapping into in the collective through my channel. So then after that, I'm going to share the astrology chart with you and I'm going to highlight the aspects that I'm talking about. I don't usually talk about all of them, just the ones that are really being highlighted for me, because that's how my channel works. I just trust what comes through and that it's meant to be shared in the world. And that is really where we're going in so many ways. It's gonna be, or it has become our superpower. And then after that, I bring in a reading from the guides, and it's always really powerful, very supportive to help us get a heads up on what to look for and how to activate the energies in a really big aligned way in that co-creative space as we move through the portal of the Sagittarius full moon. So the geomagnetic storm, the northern lights, the total solar Aries eclipse. This is really trying to lighten you up and expand you into your ascension by creating the space where you make it a reality. Sagittarius is all about experiential learning. Gemini is about book learning and details. So finding the balance between the two of them is being able to maybe know the details, but let go of them, be in the beginner's mind, right? We're always the teacher and the student. And in that space, you're limitless. But when you become the expert and you're no longer open for growth or expansion, then you limit yourself and you actually create a misalignment within your soul. So this is what I love, because Gemini and Sagittarius, they are the teachers in different ways. Sagittarius goes up on the mountain and like opens up to everything. It's the unified consciousness. It's the unified field, right? Gemini gets very specific about one subject or one interaction or one teaching that it's doing. But Sagittarius is like about the belief systems. It's about the thought systems. It's about holding the space for all within. And Gemini really does a great job of duality in its highest frequency. Now, in a low frequency of Gemini, we're actually always looking for the grass being greener on the other side. And we feel like it has to be one or the other. So that can be the duality that divides us, where it's the I'm right, you're wrong. And we really have to watch for that. And the nice thing about Gemini is it is such a joyful sign. It's very light. It's that first air sign of the zodiac. So it really brings in that childlike inspiration and like, I don't know, just fun interaction in life. So let comedy be one of the things that really guides you in this space, really opens your heart up. So let yourself be a little lighter in your life, right? And let Sagittarius be the thing and Jupiter be the thing that really pulls you up and you get that higher vantage point where it's not so personalized, where you actually can allow, and this is really important right here. So if you're multitasking, come back right here and now. You can allow the journey and the experience of all. And we don't project onto anything or anyone else what we know and feel and unfold within ourselves. So that's been one of the biggest triggers in relationships time and time and time again, is that we're actually holding others to a level of what we know and what we desire and what we emanate from our own experience. So when you remember that the experiences of everyone else all come into play into what's happening in all time space continuums for the unfolding of their reality, and you can allow them to be in their power, even when they're feeling disempowered, even when they consciously choose not to be conscious, even when they're not on the path of soul growth. We can hold them in that space and we can trust that their evolution will land divinely when it's meant to. And when we do that, y'all, when we actually unentangle the energy and the power over, even when we think it's with the best intentions and we think that we know that they're going to feel so much better if they just do this thing, and we're going to feel so much better if they just do this thing, we can really just allow the flow of life then they are much more likely to get curious and more expansive in their own experience. Because when we feel judged, when we feel that energy of control around us, we're going to get constricted. We're going to become defensive. So this is a great time with Mercury squaring Pluto to find death in all of the communication and even in the mind of yourself, how you communicate with yourself in those prior past ways of constriction, control, and force in order to find an outcome, right? So notice in your life where you're having this trigger and notice how you are like using your tone, how your energy is. What are the words that are coming out of your mouth? And what's the foundation of them? Is that foundation in pure unconditional love? Is it in witness for all to move through the pain and the good, the bad and the hard and the expansive and the light and the joy? Like, we have to find the inner resources within ourselves. So when you move back into how you talk to yourself, the thoughts that you're thinking, how you're sharing your truth, how you're communicating with others, and even with consciousness, are you coming from a place of sensuality, of feeling, of love, of flow, of pleasure, of simplicity, of stillness? Because honestly, doesn't that feel much more simple to just take off the burden or the weight of being the savior of everything and everyone around you, even including yourself, when you can trust this guidance and this co-creation with beautiful planetary energies and consciousness and earth and elements, like all of it. It feels so good because y'all, when we get to a place of trust, and this really is a Sagittarian quality, which is trust, when we can trust ourselves, when we can trust that co-creative divine guidance in life, and we can trust, which equals our experiences, and we can trust other people, there's a freedom there. There's a liberation, and that's Pluto in Aquarius. It always wants us to find a higher wisdom through freedom, through the rebellion, right? So when you're just continuing to do the thing that you've always done, or do it because other people are doing it, or not rock the boat, or not really stand out from the crowd, Pluto is going to come in and make that much, much, much more uncomfortable. So now is the time to claim it. Now is the time to claim your space on this earth, in this body, as your unique divine soul blueprint that is unlike anything or anyone else around us. And then you rise from there. And when you rise from there, that's the magnetism, that's magnetic energy that you put out into the world. And that is where the unfolding becomes so yummy. It becomes blissful, even in the dark, even in the shadow, because we actually, the ones of us that have been really deeply doing this work, we welcome those triggers to come in because we know it's a chance at deep root embodied transformation. Doesn't mean it's comfortable, but it means that we know that we're going to clear ourselves and move to the next level, and move to the next level, and move to the next level. It's very exciting. And speaking of your next octave, before I get into the chart, let me just tell you that if you are starting to feel like the ground break beneath you, the foundation want to become new, and you know without a doubt that mentorship is the way to quantum leap into it. I know it. High level manifestors know it. Everyone that's doing big things in their life that are aligned with their soul purpose and mission has a mentor. They have a mastermind. They have a coach. They have something that is their biggest cheerleader through the fluctuations, through the shadow work, through the expansion. Because sometimes even in the expansion, and this is, I want to talk about this with Sagittarius, even in the expansion, we can actually backtrack because it's super scary to be out there on our own without a reference for it in our world that's filled with the duality that divides, the contrast, the pain, the vying for the power over you. And we can just let ourselves come back to that dominant narrative where it feels okay and it feels safe because we're not rocking the boat. We're not out there on our own. So this is where it is really important that somehow you have an environment, you have a sacred circle of souls around you that walk with you heart to heart. They walk with you spirit to spirit, soul to soul, and they believe deeply in your ability to transform, to evolve, to become the next iteration of yourself, and to create the life of your wildest, biggest, and boldest dreams. That is the summer experience that I am offering you. There are only a few spaces available in this. It is a 4-month mastermind and a 4-night retreat in the gorgeous countryside of the Midwest. I'm telling you, this property is magic. The whole experience is magic. So it's called The Next Octave. If you're feeling something speaking to you, if your heart is expanding in this vibration, follow the thread. Just give yourself at least that to follow the thread, because that is the newer soul flow. That is the ascension that we're moving through from all of these solar flares, from the magnetic shift of the Schumann resonance. That is what is going to propel you into the galactically activated and multidimensional being that you are, where you become the leader of your life and no longer a follower from the learned fear frequency. That's actually not us, and it's not even real. We are so powerful. We are so magnetic. We are so limitless in our potential when we're in alignment. Most of us don't have reference for how it actually feels in this life to be alignment and to take inspired risk and action from there and to be the very best channeler of our lives. P.S. My last podcast episode was Be Your Best Channeler. And make sure you go back and check that out when you're done with this video, because people are loving it. It is speaking volumes to their frequency and their soul. So if you are ready to have the summer event extravaganza of your life, that literally changes everything, because we do work on a continual basis in order to solidify it and normalize it as who you are and who you are being in your frequency, to magnetize more and expand more and grow more and keep going. There is no limit to our greatness. And if you're really feeling it and super curious about it, book a discovery call with me below. Like I said, there are only 3 spaces available. This is a very intimate experience for a reason. Okay, let's do the chart. All right, here we go. The moon in Sagittarius is opposing the sun in Gemini here. So again, we want to find that balance between the two that really brings them together. So it's like the experiential learning, the expansion of Sagittarius, the unified consciousness, the unified field energy in how we relate to the world, with the inspiration, the lightness, the ideas, the laughter, the fun of the sun in Gemini. This is a fast energy. So we've been kind of like coming and going. We've had some aspects coming up that have caused a little delay. I mean, since the total solar Aries eclipse, we've had a lot of revelations that have been coming to the surface to work through. So Gemini is really going to help speed us up. And, you know, we're moving in the Northern Hemisphere into summer. We've got the summer solstice coming as well in June. P.S. I have a free event on Insight Timer for the summer solstice. So make sure you check that out below as well. And again, we want to be in the high octave of Gemini where we can have it all. There's no one or the other. There's actually one and the other. And how do we create something new to have the flavor or the experience of all? And this really is where we're going with New Earth Soul businesses. We're no longer staying to these arbitrary rules that have been set by whatever, linear systems, power over, whatever it is, we are being the businesses of our innate medicine, and we are claiming them in this space. And it is spreading like wildfire. And that takes us back to the fire of Sagittarius energy. Okay. And then I want to talk about this conjunction, Venus and Jupiter in Taurus. So we're moving beyond the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, although we could still add all three of those in to make a stellium and a conjunction between them all because they are within 10 degrees apart. But the Venus and Jupiter one, this really is going to focus back into that relationship space, that love space. How do we give and receive? What do we feel as pleasure? And how easily do we allow ourselves to realize, not only engage in pleasure, but realize that pleasure is the teacher. It is the path to so much more in our life. We've let stress be the ruler of our life for generations. And this is what we are disrupting. This is big. It is huge. Again, I honor you. This is really, really big work. So Jupiter's going to expand this for you. So when you have that moment and that hit where suddenly you're craving to go outside, you're craving to roll around in the grass, you're craving to hug somebody, a loved one, or visit them, or just, have a joyful experience, like do something out of the ordinary that you normally wouldn't do. You go to a park for lunch, like whatever it is, there's gonna be knowledge and wisdom there. Take yourself to go get massage in power instead of holding yourself back in scarcity, or spend time with a loved one or partner, massaging each other's feet, just really being so fully present, taking that bath, having the rose petals, the crystals, like ordain yourself in whatever feels good, whatever creates flow and connection for you, and trust that something's going to arrive there when you can activate that present moment. And the other conjunction that's beginning here I want to highlight is Chiron and Mars in Aries. It's not exact. It's on its way to be exact. I don't know the date offhand, but this is going to be one of those energies again where we have felt an intensity. It's almost a reactionary energy, or those old wounds that you thought maybe you had gotten beyond may resurface, especially about the self and about how you show up in the world, about your confidence in claiming who you are, not who raised you, not who you married, not who your children are, but who you are, and claiming that in a new way. So this is where I kind of want to turn this on its head and use the Mars in Aries, that definitive action. We don't want it to be a reaction, but we want it to be an action from that space of independence and confidence, where we don't wait for anybody else's approval. We just go ahead because it feels right and it feels whole to our system and to our being. Okay, I'm going to quit sharing the screen, and we're back, and we're going to jump into a card read here to see what the guides have to say. How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments below what's coming up for you, because I'm pretty sure it's coming up louder than it ever has before. So right now we're in my Lead Your Life event, which is a 7-day broadcast channel event. P.S. divinely timed to be working with these energies and revelations that are absolutely breaking through in this group, in this channel. But I'm seeing that they're actually breaking through in more ease. We're available in a new way to hear them. And again, any work I do, we're going to be doing embodied through the cells, through the energy, clearing and opening and integrating. So whatever container you do get in, whoever you align with, or whoever you just feel that connection with, make sure you are always doing the embodied work. We have to move away, and this is part of that Gemini energy. We have to move away from living our life conceptually or from theory. And that's what our linear school system taught us. And this really is the activation of the Sagittarius energy of how our experience is not just the best teacher, but it's the best alchemizer. Because when you experience something, and this is your innate medicine coming into your soul business, when you know the results of it, you are confident, you are clear, you are balanced. And when you have results, you will stay in that power beyond any external information that you're receiving while it's unfolding. This is so important for New Earth business. So use this Sagittarius energy. Get the results of whatever it is you're doing. Find the mastery in it, but stay the student in it. So walk your talk and make it so much easier for yourself instead of trying to figure it out and trying to grasp at something or trying to like make something work because you've been sold the idea of it. Live it, be it, become it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love it. This is where we are right now, y'all. The chaos and conflict, because that's how we unearth the things that are so imprinted in our cells, in our DNA. We have to go through this scrambling or reorganization period in order to actually clear and heal the things by feeling them. We hold them down because we're scared to feel them, because we're scared we're going to feel them forever, because they're basically like almost lighting a match constantly within our soul. But once you actually bring them up, reveal them, and find your full vulnerability to feel them and release them, they're gone. I see it with my clients all the time. They're shocked at the level of transformation that they move through quickly and quantumly because they have someone there that helps stand on the precipice with them and move forward instead of bringing themselves back and moving back into constriction, because this takes you to a change in the wind. And I love this card so much because the wind is that Gemini energy that is coming through, that's going to really lighten things up for us. It's going to create a lot of movement and inspiration, right? So hopefully you've got the solid foundation that's being built right now in your confidence that you can pivot and move and turn and be so solid in the guidance that's coming through that you say yes, you say yes, you say no, you like no immediately, and you stand behind it, you declare it, because then this is going to take you to why. It's the curiosity of Gemini. Gemini is the most curious sign. It's like they're curious little monkeys going around. They want to know more, like tell them more. They want to really understand. They love telling stories. They love hearing stories. They're really great social beings. So let this why be the exploration into all of the new that's coming through for you. But also, I feel like this card is saying, stay with your why. What is your why? What is the why of your life? What is the divine soul blueprint? What is the alignment that's taking you further and further into balance, into harmony, and into pleasure in your life? So when you know your why, the how doesn't matter. This is part of manifestation work. And I want you to get super clear on this. So it feels like a great time to tell you and ask you to grab your journal right now, and anything in your life that you're wanting to bring through. What's your why? Keep writing more and more. Keep bringing that energy up more and more. Live it, breathe it, smell it, visualize it, imagine it, and hold that as the person that you are, even if you're not seeing it right now in your external world. This is part of the work we're doing in Lead Your Life. So I'm bringing it here because that's the energy that's opening. I hope that this has been super supportive for you. And please let me know in the comments below what's moving through for you right now in the Sagittarius energy. What house was the total solar eclipse in? And are you seeing revelations in that area of your life? Also, let me know, what's your why? Speak it into existence. This is the Mercury squaring Pluto. Do it in a new way. Stop holding it back, hiding it, and being afraid to share it in the world. Claim it, claim yourself. This is the Sagittarius full moon. Y'all, again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this with a friend that you know will get activated, that you know will be stoked on it. And until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.